Elisani, are you trying to be funny with me?
No, sir, I'm not.
So two people say the script came late and you described it an inconsistency in their speech.
When Costa called me to tell me I'm back in the competition, hey, it literally felt like Jerusalem coming down to me. I was so ecstatic, I could not believe it. I screamed at the top of my lungs immediately after the call was done.
Oppa, your presentation was pathetic. If you are going to be on the chopping block, good luck to you.
I think that this week my performance wasn't what he was looking for.
Musonda, unfortunately the journey equally ends for you right now.
The road to the Diamond TV Top 10 is officially underway, and ultimately the road to finding that one diamond for Costa Mwansa. This week we are turning up the heat. The challenge requires the contestants to do a lot of thinking, and Costa's guest this week is one of Diamond Media's top thinkers.
I think he's looking for something that most of our mentors that have come through have echoed. Someone who's not only talented, but that person should have other qualities. Among them, someone who's disciplined, someone who's dedicated, someone who's passionate. You have to be strong. There are a whole number of things, but he's definitely not only looking for a talented person, because there's only as far as talent can take you. It's these other attributes that go with talent that will make one go further. And I know he's not looking at a person that will stick around for some time and fade away. He wants something that will push on to the very end. So he wants to see that the person that he gets has these other factors to keep them going regardless of what comes, because it is a challenging industry. So yeah.
After the brief training, the contestants took some time to show some love to Kotzel, who was celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday, Kotzel.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kotzel. Happy birthday to you. Hooray!
This week's task tests the contestants' ability to compile a body of literature that is well researched and at the same time has relevant content to the viewer. One by one, the contestants were randomly given topics from which the content of their presentations would come.
Two.
3.
4.
5. 6. 7.
8.
9. 10. 11.
12.
13.
After a 2-hour allocation period for their research, it was time to present their shows to Costa and Joan.
Well, in terms of work ethic, I do see what he's looking for, at least the silhouette of what he's looking for. But like, I don't really see the features necessarily, because he always finds unique characteristics in every presenter, and he'll spot them and he'll be like, this was good, this was good. So it's like a lot of different features. I don't think it's one thing specifically. If you do exhibit like a trait really, really well, he would definitely spot you. So I think as long as you do whatever you do really, really well with brilliance, he will be impressed. Brilliance and discipline.
Still to come on the Diamond TV presenter search.
Imagine not having the right to education, health, to vote, or the right to legal protection. I am Chiyambi Tembo, and this is Diamond Sherlock.
If I was eliminated, who would I take along with me and why? I would probably take Elesani with me because he seems like he had a lot of priorities. He prioritized other stuff more than he prioritized this, which is probably something we almost had in common, so I'd have gone with him.
I think a couple of you. I'll take everyone. That's a joke. No, I would take, but I don't think, okay, with regards to personality types, I think sometimes there can be a few clashes in as much as you can try to be cordial and friendly. But I would, with regards to personality, I'd probably take Nova with me home. I'd be like, yeah.
Honestly, the person I would have said, the person that before the previous challenge that we had, that I would have said I'll go home with, would have been Oppa, because I felt most of the time she doubted herself, she was too worried, she was intimidated by the people around. But now I'm not of that opinion anymore, because she's broken out of the shell, she's brought in her A game, and right now I respect her so much. So I'm trying to think of another person, but amongst the ones remaining, no, sorry, I don't think I have any person in mind that I would want to take along, because I don't have a good reason for wanting to take them along.
First up is Cosmos.
Cosmos,
Yes, sir.
welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Tell us more about your task this week and what we're about to see.
Sure. So my task was to explain about the Sakala brothers. So I decided to explain the origin in my show or presentation, the origin and the most untold story about how they parted. And that's basically about my show in summary.
Was the assignment mainly about the Sakala brothers? Was this not more about research and your ability to put research skills into storytelling?
Yes, it was about how much I can research about the Sakala brothers and how I can be able to tell that story after doing my research.
And who chose the topic?
We were given a box to choose numbers from, and I picked the number that was saying Sakala brothers.
Brilliant. Let's watch.
Thank you.
Kalevalika, kalevalika, mwana wandi. Kalevalika, kalevalika, mwana wandi. Kalevalika konsolea. Oh, Kalevalika. A popular song done by the Sakala brothers that has changed the face of Zambia and also has made them release a lot of songs that have stayed for a very, very long time. Welcome to Zambian Music on the Block, where we will talk about the untold story of the Sakala brothers. I am your host, Cosmas Chongo Mulenga. Now, the Sakala brothers are not biological brothers. These two are friends that have the same surname. Quite interesting. Well, let's talk about how they met. In 1984, Levi was at Mambilima Primary School, where he was in a certain singing group, but this singing group was the national champion of singing at that particular moment. Well, Levi and Moses are very free to sing together, but the only thing is that Levi has shifted his focus from the music that they were presenting to the music that is gospel, which is the pastoral ministry that he's now doing.
Other than omitting a major part of his topic, Cosmos put up a good show, with his opening being what stood out the most.
The biggest blunder here is that Levi is dead, and you make it seem like he's there. You actually talk about the fact that they are free to sing together, and I think that's a very huge lapse in your research, because that should actually be part of the story that you're supposed to be telling, because the Sakala brothers cannot happen anymore because Levi is no more. And I think that's a huge omission on your research. I really believe that the vocabulary could have been wider than it was. That is what makes your story even better. The fact that you are able to play with the words and keep people intrigued. And yes, there was a lot of information that was missing. This was a very timely topic for you, because you could have actually talked about the fact that Moses has gone on with his music and was launching something just yesterday. He was launching a joint album with his wife just yesterday.
Can Cosmos sing his way to the next round? We'll find out in Elimination. Up next is Chiyambi.
My research was on Dr. Kenneth Kaunda being declared stateless. It was basically him being declared that he wasn't a citizen. That was after he had run for president for 27 years. So in that gap, there was 8 years where he was considered an alien. And this was done by some MMD political members. But he managed to get through it when the court declared him non-citizen.
Let's get to watch the piece and let's see the feedback we'll get.
Imagine not having the right to education, health, to vote, or the right to legal protection. I am Chiyambi Tembo, and this is Diamond Sherlock, where we have conversations that are complex. Today, our topic is Kaunda being declared stateless. Was then declared an alien because in 1991 and until 1999, that was basically...
What happened? What's going on?
Honestly, I was just overwhelmed with too much information.
You were overwhelmed with too much information?
When I was researching, it was hard to find most of the information. So I was reading a lot until I had to put it all together. And when I got here, it just...
The first poor performance of the day. Both Costa and Jonah are unimpressed with Chiyambi's product. How will Grace fare in this week's challenge?
My thought process when I got my topic was to come up with some sort of segment where, a segment for a show where we could create a space where women are appreciated, celebrated, and supported into pursuing their goals and their dreams. And then in that segment, I would be talking about Kotzel and her achievements and how she achieved it. So that's what I tried to come up with.
Let's see it.
Today I talk about an incredible woman by the name of Kotzel Muwamba. She happens to be the first Zambian female pilot fighter. Just to give you a brief explanation of what that is, a pilot fighter is a military personnel who has been tasked with the duty of defending the skies during war or military war, or conflict, and is supposed to defend the skies while flying armed planes. I absolutely think she deserves the recognition, and that is why she is featured today on today's episode as an incredible woman in the field of ladies at work. My name is Grace Makausikanda, and this has been Ladies at Work. Make sure you catch the highlights of your favorite Diamond TV shows on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Instagram as well.
You hold your head in your hand. What's the problem?
I think the nerves got the best of me. I could have done absolutely better than that. I'm just like disappointed in myself.
Grace, I'm looking for a presenter. And I always say this every week, that presentation and public speaking is about self-confidence. You cannot go on TV or come before us literally shaking and holding your head in your hand.
Flat is what Kotzel has described Grace's performance this week. Not a good review, especially at this point in this competition. Up next is Innocent.
Well, this week I was given the topic of Valentine's Day. So when I was doing research, I researched Valentine's Day, of course, as a holiday, why people celebrate it. And what came to mind was creating a concept, or rather a show, that people can watch that gives them information about the holiday, where they can learn about it and make it special for themselves.
See.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Valentine Day to remember. Now, question, have you ever wanted to spend that special day with that special someone, but you just can't do it? Well, this show is going to be your personal therapist for that. Right here on the show, we give you insightful and relevant information to help you get prepped and equipped for that special day. I'll be your love plug for the day, Innocent Chapewa. Now, on today's show, we are going to be looking at the general aspect of the day, Valentine's. Now, I will be your love plug, as I said earlier, but you guys can also...
A couple of missed opportunities there for Innocent to make his presentation outstanding.
Also, there's a lot of myths, like you say, with regards to Valentine's Day, and yet you didn't give much on the myth that you picked. I mean, you just talked about the fact that Saint Valentine wrote a letter to his jailer's daughter, and that was it? That's it?
No, actually, when he wrote the letter, he sent it saying, "From your Valentine." I forgot to incorporate that.
Yeah, so it is now Kotzel's turn to share her presentation.
Tell me more about how you went about your research in preparing this piece.
With regards to preparation, I did watch some YouTube videos and I did check the Star Wars fan page. I also checked Wikipedia because 9 out of 10 times usually have information that's always updated concerning the event. I equally checked Facebook because I know there are a lot of fan pages and there are a lot of groups that do follow the Star Wars movement. Being a Star Wars fan myself, I did have some information on it, so it was more or less adding up to what was already put out on the internet.
Yeah, Jedi?
More of Darth Vader.
Let's watch.
That's dark.
May the 4th, a day for, by, and all about the Star Wars movies and of course the fans who celebrate the day in line with the franchise. Hello everyone, I am Kotzel Tembo and welcome to Diamond TV's The Dome. Now today we will be looking into the movie Star Wars and the many attributes it has, especially the fact that May the 4th has been declared May the 4th, which is an inside joke that most of the Star Wars fans use. Now, May has been considered such a significant month to Star Wars fans as there are so many significant dates that are attributed to the movie, and we will get right into that. And it has been tremendous so far with the franchise. Now, we will get into who exactly coined the movies Star Wars.
You talked a lot, but I still don't know what May the 4th be with you is. You've talked about what the pun, where the pun is used, but what is it? It's May the Force be with you, but you have to explain the context in which it is used. And I didn't get that. I understand who uses it, I understand when it was first used, where it was used, but why do they use it? Like, what does it mean?
Jonah feels Kotzel didn't do much to communicate the concept to the viewer. Much was said, but not much was communicated. Next up is Mercy.
So you're saying what we're about to see has nothing to do with the barrier side. It has just something to do with FTJ.
Most of it, but I did touch on the barrier side.
Let's watch.
Hello and welcome everybody to History Reloaded. I'm your bookworm, Mercy Mary Nakawala, and on this show, I go into the books, into the archives of Zambian history and bring it to you summarized on your screens. So on today's show, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about former Republican President Frederick Titus Jacob Chiluba, famously known as FTJ. So FTJ was born in 1943, April 30th in Musungu village, Mwense district of Luapula province.
According to the judges, Mercy's piece of research lacked substance, with this task leaning 100% on the contestants' ability to gather relevant information around a topic. This may cost her. Coming into the presentation room is Nova.
So I was researching about the Am statue, which is just in front of Lusaka National Museum. Yeah, so basically that was my research, why that statue's there. I mean, everyone sees it, but then we don't know the story behind it. So it was pretty interesting even for me. Funny thing is, I did do this story during my exams, but I don't think I researched as much as I did when I was researching about it this time around. So
you did it in your exam, and this is the topic that was. So we expect. So when we watch this piece, are we going to be told the story behind this metal statue?
Yes, we will.
Let's watch.
How well do you know about museums? How well do you know about the story behind every piece? Welcome to the story behind every piece. I am your host, Nova Amandla. Now, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the famous anti-retroviral statue, also known as the Am statue. Yes, I am talking about the statue that you see right in front of Lusaka National Museum. Now, did you know that this statue was made in honor of Winston Zulu, who was the first Zambian HIV/AIDS activist? Now, did you also know that this statue was made out of old hospital beds that were owned by thousands of people who died from AIDS? Tragic? Yes. Heroic? You're about to find out. Now, Winston Zulu was born on the 7th of January in 1964. He was the 6th child from a family of 13. This exhibition was a record-breaking turnout, all in the honor of Winston Zulu. So now, every time you look at the Am statue at the entrance of the Lusaka National Museum, think about Winston Zulu. Thank you so much for joining me with the story behind the art, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was entertaining enough for you to actually love history. Keep watching Diamond TV. I am your host, Nova Amandla.
Nova has gotten praise for her attention to detail in her research. She may just be safe from elimination this week.
I'm trying to picture what really does it look like. So you had an opportunity to show us, because this is TV, this is video, so you should have done, you should have got an extra mile. As a presenter, you need to hold it tight together throughout the whole presentation. There are times, like he has said, that you lapsed a bit and so on. There's a point where you confused dates, 11th, 12th, and you did not apologize and correct it for us to know what it was. But by and large, I think your presentation was engaging. You can do better. Good luck.
Coming in next is Oppa.
Well, I think the Lusaka City Market is one of the busiest markets, and it's a very big market. Almost every Zambian has heard of it or has been there. And it's not only the Zambians, but even the tourists who visit Zambia, they love going to City Market. It's one place you can visit for anything you need. It's like a one-stop shop, everything under one roof.
Let's watch it.
Hello, I'm Oppa and welcome to today's episode of Shopping Diaries. On this episode, we'll be looking at everything to do with the Lusaka City Market, the biggest and busiest trading center in Zambia located along Los Angeles Road. It has a very interesting history to its construction. It was built in the year 1997 to ease chaos of sidewalk vendors by the Zambian government through the Zambia National Service and the Zambia Army, with consultation from the Israeli consultants, referred to as the New Soweto Market. probably because of the location where it was being built from. In August 1997, President Chiluba declared it open and gave it the name the New Lusaka City Market. Sadly, in 2017, it was gutted. But it has been rebuilt and it is the place to be for anything you might need. It is in fact home to the best thrift clothes. You can talk of anything from food, household goods to clothes, you'll find it there. In fact, most tourists and local Zambians love to go to the Lusaka City Market because it is like you're shopping from one roof. You find everything there. It is a very busy market with a lot of hustle bustle, but very enjoyable to shop from, especially in the evening when the prices of goods have been reduced to clear as the vendors are ready to leave home. So, are you going to add the Lusaka City Market to your shopping diary?
I have to tell you, Oppa, I actually thoroughly enjoyed watching it. You spoke off cuff. You understood the assignment, and I have to be honest. There's a lot of things you said there that I didn't know about the Lusaka City Market, and I'm really impressed. There was a point though where I got a bit confused, not by the information. But you were carrying us along with this topic, with your presentation, and you were carrying us along with a smile. And then there was a gloomy, like you just stopped smiling, and then you started smiling when you were talking about protests. So it threw me off a little bit.
Oppa's ability to dig deep in her topic has left Costa and Jonah, most of all, impressed. Bringing out information that most people did not know about is the strength in her presentation. Ntalasha has always been known to be heavy with the numbers. Would she bring that to this presentation?
Omuntwe. Sorry. Omuntu motwe. Emiti kola empanga. These two Bemba proverbs will dictate the discussion today. Mental health in children. Mental health in Zambian children, that is.
Much has been said about Ntalasha's performance this week. Hard to say if she is safe or not. We'll have to wait and see Costa's decision. George was one of the best performing presenters last week. How will he fare in this week's challenge?
So it was a challenging task for me because I had to bring out the best in what Lusaka had to offer in regards to decongestion and how each and every citizen benefited from that particular set.
Brilliant. Let's watch it.
Now, did you know that the Lusaka decongestion project actually started in the year 2008 by the MMD government? Now, this whole project was actually a project to improve the road network in the country as road users had started rapidly increasing. The only problem that actually came with that is that the project was actually initiated in the year 2018 under the Patriotic Front government, and when it was initiated in 2018, the whole plan was to be able to increase road usage and actually make it much more effective.
George would have put in a little more effort into ensuring his research is packaged more creatively. An average performance.
George, today's assignment has been averagely delivered. For the person you have been on the show and coming out of last week, you've dropped the ball on this one. It may sound a very boring or complicated topic, Lusaka decongestion, but it could have been told more creatively and better. I keep on telling everybody, this is TV. You don't want me to be imagining Ben Bella, Munali, Kasangula and things like that. Why not ask the editor to include some of these roads? We have a bridge nearby here at Arcades, the flyover bridge. It could have been looked at. Sequencing is very important. At a point you lost me. You said this project was actually started in 2008 by the MMD. Then you used the word it was initiated by the Patriotic Front in 2018. Initiation means that's the initial, that's the start. So I get confused. It started in 2008, it was initiated.
Will he make it to the next round? Next up is Zian, also one of the best performing presenters in last week's challenge. Will she keep it up this week as well?
So did you deliver in the manner that young people who were not there by that time would now know more about this tragic day?
I really do hope so.
Let's watch.
Hello and welcome to Ticheze right here in Diamond TV Media. I am your girl Zian SZ. This is a show that is here to entertain, educate, as well as inform you. On today's show, it is especially very, very interesting because I think it's even personal to me and everybody who's watching it out there.
Any story that has to be told in a chronological order. And the moment it's not told in a chronological order, it's incoherent. And that was pretty evident. I love the fact that you managed to have all this information in your mind, but that's why an outline becomes useful. You write down where you're going to move. So I start with this, then I'll go to this, then I'll go to this, then I'll go to this.
Zian may have been a little out of her comfort zone, and this was evident. Nonetheless, Costa expects excellence, no matter the task. Costa and Jonah will have to view Hope's presentation in her absentia and give feedback during elimination.
The other. And today on the program, we'll be looking at the Zambia National Service, just looking at its history, where it comes from, what they operate and what they deal in. So yeah, so the Zambia National Service is part of the Zambia National Defense Force, whose objective is to train Zambians in agriculture and craft skills. Now, the first Major General was Mike Grigg, who was appointed by the first Republican President, Kenneth Kaunda, and the first local governor was General Kingsley Chikodi. So those were the first two generals, the first general and the first indigenous.
It is now time for Rose to present her piece to Costa and Jonah.
So technically the presentation was trying to get into history about Kabwe, because why is it being called a ghost town and things like that. I must say finding information about Zambia is hectic, but then fortunately there was at least one big lead that I could go on, which was the lead and zinc story. So that was like at least a very good intro. But on the other parts, I think it was open-ended for more information to come in from locals and the like. But then it did have some history from the past. So yeah, we hope.
Does your piece answer the question why Kabwe is a ghost town?
Yes, and a bit of no.
Well, let's watch it.
Hello and welcome to the Local Dive. This is the show where we bring to you all information about local stories and the cities down here in Zambia. And I'll be your host today, Rose Mwewa. Today's topic is pretty interesting because we are talking about what is called the ghost town. Now, any local Zambian who hear the term the ghost town must have an idea of the city we're talking about. Yes, we are talking about Kabwe. Kabwe has been called the ghost town for the longest, but then, we really don't know if we can still consider it that. More details, I'm sure I will give as we go on.
Unprepared is what the judges think of Rose's performance. Costa feels she did not take her task seriously. No doubt that Rose is treading on thin ice this week. And now for the last presentation.
Now, we all know the saying that behind every strong man, there is a stronger woman. And in this case, we are not talking about any man. We are talking about the man, the head of state, the president. And today we choose to shine the light on their backbones, the first ladies. Welcome to this thrilling show of You Have Been Schooled. And I am your host, Piri Elisani, and our topic for today is the office of the first ladies. A leader also in the Health World Organization Goodwill Ambassador from 2012 up to 2014. And now we come to our current head of office of the First Lady, who is Mtinta Hichilema. Now, after establishing that these First Ladies have been influential, we are very well there are many ways in which all these ladies, first ladies, are influential.
You say you can't.
No, I've missed.
After the break, elimination. A little music before elimination is just what the contestants need to soothe out the situation.
Whatever gets you to the millions faster, right? I wanna take a drink of that water, so I never thirst. Now my soul's that's beyond measure. I wanna have new words. I wanna tap into that treasure. When it's well alright. If una I wanna be rooted.
I think Costa is looking for someone who is very hardworking, very determined, and very creative.
Contestants, this week is probably one of the biggest challenges you've had because it is the hallmark of a good TV host. If you are going to be a TV host or a journalist, there's one saying that I always go by, that a journalist doesn't know everything, but a journalist must know everything they talk about. That is why you've been put to the test to see how much you will know about your topics. Unfortunately, some of you were just far below expectation. Some of you did not take this assignment seriously, and you simply exerted or exhibited the lowest standard possible. That cannot be the same for some of you, because we were really impressed by how you performed and how much research and how much work you put into your assignment.
Before I get to elimination, Oppa, Nova, your presentations this week were outstanding. And I think by far the best presentation this week has been Oppa. Oppa, you win this week's challenge. Your ability to put your research abilities or your research work into the presentation of the Lusaka City Market. A brilliantly done piece, the use of the language, the examples, and the fact that you gave the years of establishment, the vendor desk, the idea how it was conceptualized from Israel, and how President Chiluba came up with this thing. Congratulations and a big hand to her. For some, you'll be up for elimination because you hardly even spoke to the titles or to the assignments given to you. And this is why, this week, the following need to step up because you're up for elimination. Ntalasha, step to the front. Exchange places with Oppa. Rose, step up and exchange places with Nova. Hope, step up.
But then with regards to, because what he said today, especially thinking on my elimination day, he was like, because I always pay attention to what he says. Like one time he told Grace, he was like, Grace, you know, you're all over yourself. And then she started by responding, I personally had this and that thought, which sounded, you know, all over herself again. And today, when he was trying to eliminate the people in the front, Rose was one of them, and then he told her she was really entitled, and then her response sounded entitled, which is kind of like reinforcing, which I didn't find very, it's like she wasn't listening to what he was saying. So she wasn't taking in the criticism, which I found careless on her part and irresponsible, because someone can't criticize you on something and then you make the same mistake again. That's just with regards to being professional, I think. We're just not listening, lack of obedience. Which I also do, but like, I think people should improve on.
Last week, you were up for elimination. Regardless of the fact that you had exams, your task output last week was below par. This week as well, you failed on the Kabwe Ghost Town story. Some information you had, but you failed to execute it properly. Why should I not be sending you home?
I might not have 1,000 reasons to give you, or anything believable. So, I know I can work on it, and of course, I let emotions get in the way. So, you cannot eliminate me or keep me so that I can work on that. And by next competition, I guess I'll be in better shape and would have worked on what has to be worked on.
Grow up.
I think I'm honored and I'm happy that he still gave me a third chance. I don't know if I can call it a second chance or a third now. But yeah, I'm glad another chance was given to me. So yeah, I guess that's how I feel about it.
Mtalasha, why should we keep you?
You're looking for a diamond. I believe I am one. You don't need to. When you tell me something, I listen. It's not repetitive. When you tell me something, I will listen to you. I won't make the same mistakes. If you give me an opportunity, I'm going to come back with full force and not make unprofessional mistakes. I'll be more disciplined.
Hope, why should you continue on the competition?
I should continue because I recognize the fact that I kept reading, but that's because I came in late. I started my preparation late. By the time they were calling me, I was still writing. I was just jotting down the notes, so that's why it wasn't even coherent, because I was trying to make up something there and then. But I'm ashamed at the fact that I did promise that I'll do better this week and I did not live up to expectation, but hoping if I do make it to the next round, I live.
Why did you come late?
I spent the night at the clinic, and in the morning they had to take blood samples for tests. Yeah, that's what delayed me. So from the clinic, went home, freshened up, then came here. So I got to this place past 13.
So you still haven't given me any convincing reason. Why should I not eliminate you?
You should not eliminate me, sir, because despite me being sick, I did make an effort and come, and within the little time that I had, I was able to gather info that I delivered, though not up to par.
Chiyambi, I had some things for you last week, and again, you're back. You don't show me that you're serious. Either you think I'm your cousin or something. Why are you not taking this competition serious?
I just let my emotions get the best of me, and which is something I really regret and I'm ashamed of.
This is no place for emotions. I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist. I'm looking for a presenter. And that's the only thing I want to see. I'm not here to sort out anybody's emotional problems. Leave them outside that door. Mercy, you're back again. Last week you gave us a very compelling story about the young ones back home that look up to you. But yet again, they are only looking up to somebody who's not serious. What different story do you have for us this week?
Sir, I am willing to grow, and I believe that this is a place that I can actually do that from. So keep me here because I want to grow. And that is all I can say.
Mtalasha, that should never happen again. We all make mistakes in life. The issue, or really the ideal, is what happens thereafter. What you learn out of those mistakes. Because we're human beings, we're not perfect, we're infallible. I hope you've learned something out of that mistake. I have decided to accept your apology, and hence I will not be eliminating you this week. And to the rest of you, nothing of such a sort must happen.
A lot of self-control and discipline. I think being caught cussing on recording is just unprofessional, like he said. He didn't even have to tell me. Indeed, it's not just for journalism, it's for everything.
Hope for the fact that even after being in clinic, even after being diagnosed with malaria, you've shown dedication, you have shown that you want this, you came to do your assignment while you were not well, you have attended this session while you're not well. Don't cry. Like I'm saying, I'm not a counselor, guys. I'm not a therapist. I'm looking for a presenter, so don't give me those emotions, Hope. I'm not sending you home, so why are you crying? Why are you crying?
I'm not crying, sir.
You are crying. Because you've shown me dedication and you've shown me that you're serious, regardless of all the odds that are before you, braving your illness and coming here, it shows me that you want this so much. And this is what I want. I look for discipline in a person. I look for commitment. And for that reason, I'm keeping you on the competition. And I wish you well, and I wish you a quick recovery. Rose, Chiyambi, and Mercy, the three of you are in the bottom. Elesani has already been sent away. And only one among the three of you is going to be going home with him. Let's take a deep breath. Mercy, unfortunately, your journey with the DPS ends right here. I feel you're natural, but if you are a presenter who's given a topic and you go and do something contrary to that topic, it's so dangerous and toxic that you can be an informer who prescribes wrong information to the public. And it's only for that reason that I'm sending you home. I hope that you will learn from that, and I wish you well in your quest to become a presenter. Unfortunately, not this year with Diamond TV.
Where I go from here, literally, is probably the gravesite. Because I think that costed me. I want to go see really what it's about. I mean, it should be something interesting, and I think being eliminated because I don't know much about it has given me that zeal to actually find out more. But in general, I think for me it's been a learning experience, and from here I'm not giving up. I know I'm good enough and I can do better, so I'm picking up the pieces and I'm gonna go again somewhere.
Good luck, and to those that have performed extremely well this week, Oppa and Nova, keep up the good work. With the rest, I want to see your A game in next week's challenge. Thank you.